and welcome back to FiddleUP. I'm Emerald Ray, and we are going to dig into Ashokan Farewell. This is such a beautiful tune written by my dear friend Jay Unger, who is a legend in the fiddle business. He is such an awesome person who's written so many beautiful tunes, and this tune is the tune of tunes. It really is such a famous tune. It was recorded on the very well-known Ken Burns documentary about the Civil War, and this tune is basically a household name as far as tunes go. Normal people recognize this tune, whereas they don't normally recognize individual fiddle tunes. This is one of those ones, it's like this one in the Cotton Eye Joe. The lay folks, they know this one. So this is not necessarily a beginner tune, but this is one of those tunes that people always want to learn right away because it's so beautiful and it's everywhere. It's one of those ones you hear all the time. And even though it's a little bit more intermediate level, I wanted to add this one in to the end, and I'm going to go through it all nice and slowly and show you how to proceed forward with it so that you can play this tune, because it is a waltz, so it does go slow. The only thing that's a little tricky is it's got a little bit of a longer form, and it does use all four of our strings, which is why it's not necessarily a basic beginner tune. So this is definitely advanced beginner level. And so let's dive right into this tune. It's in D major. So we're gonna go a little faster with this one. So A1, 2, 3, 2, 1, A2 on the D string. So that's A, B, C sharp, D, C sharp, B, A, F sharp on the D string. And then going down to the E and back down up to the F sharp. And then next phrase. So that's starting on down on the low strings here. So we have your G on the D string. So that's your third finger on the D string. And then I'm just walking it down from there. So G, F sharp, E, D. Down to the B, which is your second finger on the G string. So I'm going B, up to the D, and down to the B again. So as you can see, these two phrases are kind of similar. They're just a little bit different. So we have the first phrase. Right, so let's take that a little bit slower. We're going to start up on the A string, A1, 2, 3, and then back down, and then hang out on the second finger on the D string. And then we're going to go up to the third finger and walk that down. Second finger on the G string. So you can see in your hand, the melody's a little bit different. It's a little bit varied for each of those phrases, but it feels very similar in your hand. You're going 3, 2, 1, open, and then down to a second finger, and then 3, 2, 1, open, and down to a second finger again. Sound good? So, all right, so now we're gonna just go into a big arpeggiation here. Woo! Covers all four strings there. This is very exciting. So we're gonna start on your A on the G string. So this is first finger on the G string. Open A. A on the G. Sorry. First finger is A on the G string. You see that? Open D. F sharp, second finger on the D. Open A. Third finger on the A, this is D. And then up to the F sharp, first finger on the E string. So what we've just done is A, D, F sharp, A, D, D, F sharp, A is a D major chord. So we're just outlining a big D major chord here. Let's do that one more time. And then the last phrase is, and you can try the trill there if you want to. And that's just F sharp and G, or first finger, second finger, on your open E string. All right, so let's try all that together. So we're starting from, okay. Let's try that again. I'm not sure if I mentioned that when you're down on the G string there, going down to the A, you first hit that B first. So if you missed that, or if I didn't say it, that's what that is. Starting from the top again. Okay, so actually the next time through is very similar. This is kind of just a second ending here, so we're going to continue on. So the only thing we have to add to the end there once you get up to this F sharp is, and all that is giving you a little 5 chord there. That's an A major, A, C sharp, second finger, E, and then D, third finger on the A string. And we're done with that. So let's just try. Ready? Fabulous. So that is the end of the A part here. I'm just gonna have a quick sip of tea. Having some green tea today. This mug was given to me by one of my dear friends and students, Lily. Thank you so much, Lily, if you're watching. So, yes, let's try. Whole thing. so now we're moving on to the B part here. Okay, so now it's gonna get a little bit more sing-songy. So I would definitely make sure you go back and listen to this part until you can sing it for sure, because this one, you can tend to get lost in the sauce in this B part, so. Okay, so we're gonna start from our F sharp on the D string, to the G, third finger, and then open A, and then F sharp again, second finger on the D, and then open D. And then hop up to the D on your A string. I'll do it again without the squeak. Okay, cool. So. And then I'm going to go in for a B here, first finger on your A string. So that is a 1, 2, 3, or B, C sharp, D. Open A down to the F sharp, down to the E. So far we have. And then we go into the next part there. This is definitely, like I was saying, if you are struggling with this, and you don't quite have the melody in your head, definitely go back and sing this, because it's so much easier to sing than it is to play, or play, you know, when you're working through the mechanics. So da 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 da. So once you have that in your head and you've done it 3 times, 3 times is the magic number, then you can go back and play. So let's go from. So that's starting on your F sharp, and then walking it down to the open D. So F sharp, E, D. Down to the B, second finger on your G string. Open G. And then A, first finger on your G string. Open A. So if this is feeling like a lot, it's good. It's stretching you down on those lower strings, which you don't really end up doing very much in beginner level. So I'm glad we're getting all the way down there, spending some time down here. So we're heading on to the next part. So let's not rush ourselves. Let's start from the beginning of the B part so you can see how this is all fitting together. Excellent. Let's try that again. Even some Highland grace notes there that just popped out when I wasn't paying attention. And then the next phrase is. So let's start from F sharp, D, F sharp, E, D. So we've done that before. D, F sharp, A, and now we're gonna go in for C natural. There's a low 2 on your A string. So let's try. And then snap down to the open A string. And then, which we've done that phrase before. End up with an open D there. So that 2 phrases together sounds like this. Okay, so let's try that one more time. And then here's the first ending. Okay, so we have a surprise note that we haven't done before. I'll have to explain that when we get there. So we have an A on your G string, so first finger on your G string, open D, F sharp, second finger on your D, open A, and then third finger, D on the A string, and then down to the F sharp, second finger on your D string, and down to the E, open D, and now we're gonna hit a C sharp, we're gonna hit a high 3. Which I think we've probably done one of those before, but if we haven't done one of them before, I'm sorry. This is a very inconvenient place to put it, way down on the G string. So you have to stretch your third finger right up to where your fourth finger almost would be. So your normal position would be here. You know, if you're doing an inch and a half an inch. And you're just going to stretch it up just a little half an inch. And then open D. Okay, so if you're a deer in the headlights right now, that's okay. Let's do this slowly. So we're going to start off on your A on the G string. Open D, F sharp, A, D, down to the F sharp here, and then the E, first finger on the D string. Open D, C sharp, open D. So it sounds like this. And again. So let's try that couple of phrases together. So we have one more time. Okie dokie. So let's play what we have so far of the B part. So what we have to learn is not very much, but it's good to have all the context because we're going to play all of that and then all of that again almost to the end. So let's start from the top of the B part of what we have so far. So we have all of that, and then moving on, we'll be playing. So this is a bit of a variation. You could absolutely just keep playing. You know, that would work. But if you're feeling brave and you want to go in for this, this big thing, and of course J goes all the way like I did in the beginning in the faster version. You don't have to shift right now. Don't feel pressured to do that. I'm going to give you a little bit of a modified version here. So what we're going to do is play that. You know, we're gonna just play that, but we're gonna speed it up twice as fast. So we'll play, and instead of stopping at the F sharp, we'll hit the A on the top. So it sounds like this. And then add that F sharp in at the end. So that A at the top gets 2 counts. 1, 2, back down to the 1. And then, so that's open E, and then C sharp, A, C sharp, D, or open E, down to the A string, 2, A, 2, 3. All right, so that sounds like this. So that is the bitter end of the tune. You'll be glad to know. So let's try the whole B part together. Ready? So we made it through this big waltz. I hope you're feeling very accomplished. And so let's play the whole thing together. Okay? So. Well, there you go. That is the Ashokan farewell, and I think we should take this up to the next level. So you're not going to go much faster than that. All you're going to do is take some time to add some pretty little ornaments and turnarounds and double stops. When I played it in the beginning, as I'm the queen of double stops, so I did a lot, probably too many, a lot of double stops. But if I was playing this tune by myself, I would definitely go for a lot of those double stops to fill out the sound. If I was playing with an accompanist and I had, you know, that foundation of harmony going on underneath, I would focus more on the tone, the pretty tones, and playing around with the melody a little bit more. So that is an overabundance of trills. So you can play around, definitely play around with lots of trills. And trills are one of those things, you just throw them in, you pepper them in, you practice them in scales, just like in the ornamentation section. I have a video on how to practice trills. Practice them in your scales, and then they just they just pop out, you know, pop out of your fingers. And it really isn't any more complicated than that. And you know, that's 2 trills and it sounds very fancy. So I'm doing one on my 4th finger there. And then I'm doing one on my 2nd finger. And that was just one little trill on my 3rd finger. You know, so it just a little pop of a trill is really going to add so much to a phrase. And that's exactly the same trill pattern, you know, like I was saying. You know what I mean? You can do those 2 phrases, use the exact same trills, and then you've got it made. Just one little, you know, just one little extra note really just fills out the whole thing. And that's just one little trill at the top there. So do you see what I mean? You can actually throw 1 or maybe 2 trills at the most into each one of these little phrases, and then suddenly it's just covered in trills and you can hear them everywhere. You know, that was a little baby roll there at the top. That's more of a mordant. The classical players call that a mordant. So that's more of a mordant than a roll. You know, a roll is a little bit attackier when it's lighter, and on the top strings it's kind of more, sounds a little bit more classical. If you can do vibrato, I would go ahead and tastefully put some vibrato in. So as I've been saying a little bit in this course, vibrato is used in a different way. So, you know, you want to just be very, very deliberate about how you use your vibrato. You want to put it in where it's tasteful. You do not want to have auto vibrato. You don't want to be... You know, that is not the sound that we're going for. I think that was 1 too many. I did like 3 there, and I think that was too many. I'm gonna try to do 3 shakes. 1, 2. mean? You really want to just choose where it's going. And make sure most of the time you have a quiet hand, which means no vibrato whatsoever. And I'll show you what this sounds without vibrato, just with nice tone. So see what I mean? You do not need it. It should be just a little extra. And then, so in this B part is very sing-songy. Definitely throw your double steps on this part for sure. And then if you want to do that at the end, I'll show you what's happening there if you want to get brave. And that I got straight from Jay. That's what he likes to do at the end there. So I've shifted up to third position here. So I have my first finger on the A, and I'm hitting my D at the top there, actually. See, that's I got an this is an A, B, C sharp, D. So I'm going. So again, that's more of that D major arpeggio. So shift D and then first finger again. And if you hit it quick and then put a shake of vibrato there, then it sounds very pretty. Hop back down again and finish the tune. There we have it, Ashokan Farewell. I hope you enjoy this tune as much as I do. I hope you get a lot of joy out of it. And if this tune was very hard for today, don't worry. It's one of those ones that'll sink in for sure. And you're going to be hearing this tune so much that it's not going to be hard to osmose this tune from the fiddle world. So you've probably heard it already, and you know, it's one of those ones that's going to come up a lot. So I hope this was a good addition to this beginner course, even though it's not a beginner tune. It's a great one to have in your repertoire and start working on now anyway, even if you don't quite have it quite yet for a little while. So that is all, and I will see you next time.